Ladies and gentlemen, I have turned 20 years old today, and in order to celebrate my 20th birthday, I sat down with myself and my journal to come up with 20 things that I have learned this year to share with everybody out there. And the reason I want to share these things and the reason I think it will be beneficial to you is because I have been in the fitness community and self-improvement space for the past 3 years. And about a year and a half ago, I started to make my own content. And in that short amount of time, I have gained over 250,000 followers. But what's more important than just gaining the following is how far I have came as a person. So I can promise you that if you watch until the end of this video, these 20 things will also help you change your life. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to be looking down at my notepad just to remember what I learned this year. So starting out with number 1 is respect is everything. This goes with friendships and relationships. If somebody you were in a friendship with or a relationship with does not respect you, then that person is drowning you and that relationship is just done. And I say this because at the beginning of the year, me and my lifelong best friend got in an argument, all because he lost respect for me. And he said some very hurtful things, and he was also dragging me down at the time. But because I had respect for myself, I removed him from my life. And this was very healthy for me. This was the biggest pivotal point in my life, was removing this toxic person from my life that did not respect me. And this also goes for relationships, especially with women. If your woman does not respect you, then she's not going to treat you right, and the relationship will not be a net benefit for you. And the reason respect is everything in relationships and friendships is because if somebody does not respect you, then they will push your boundaries. They will push your buttons. And I think you can see how that is going to lead to that relationship or friendship being a net negative. All right, number 2, if you say something, then do it. This one was super important for me to learn because getting in consistent routines and building good habits was super hard for me at the beginning of the year. And I figured out is because when I told myself I was going to do something like wake up at 5 a.m. and do some fasted cardio, and I didn't do it, well, I started to enter into a state of self-sabotage, meaning I internally do not trust myself, so I'm sabotaging everything I say I am going to do because I don't trust myself to do that. So somehow I'll come up with an excuse or I'll procrastinate to set myself off path of what I should be doing. And the reason this was so important for me to learn, because before I learned this, I used to tell myself I was going to do something like get in amazing shape. Like, I've always been in shape. I never got into amazing shape until recently. And I learned this recently through getting into amazing shape because I had to stick to a diet. And when I told myself I'm going to eat this meal, this meal, this meal, this meal all throughout the day, and I had to work towards eating and hitting those meals, I started to build more trust with myself, which translated over to everything else into my life and has helped me grow a business while working a job and making content. So this one has been truly, truly so beneficial to me. All right, number 3 is to have more courage. This is one thing I wish I had a long time ago. It's just more courage. And courage is the ability to do something or take a risk even when you were fearful of doing that something. And for me, that was finally paying the subscription for the website to launch my fitness program on. And it took me forever to finally click that button and sign up and give that place $150 because I was scared of losing it. I was fearful of losing that. But so far, I have already made it back. And if I didn't take that risk, well, I wouldn't have made that money back. I wouldn't have made that profit, and I wouldn't have a course out there helping people get in shape. If you kind of get what I'm saying. And this can go for anything in life. If you want to start that business, if you want to go up and talk to the girl, if you want to start posting online, if you want to do a bodybuilding show, just do it without any fear. Don't think about it. Don't ask people. Whenever you get that desire or that the higher power telling you something, whenever you get that thought in the back of your head, which is your higher consciousness telling you to do something, you listen to it. So recently I've really been working on my courage just by taking action when I get that thought inside of my head, and so far it's been super beneficial. All right, number 4 is to leave people quicker. This applies to relationships, friendships, even the people you work with. If there's anybody in your life dragging you down, holding you down, being a crab in the bucket, you need to leave that person as soon as possible because you cannot help that person. You cannot change that person. You can only help yourself, and you can only change yourself. So focus on what is in your control. This one I've been learning for a while, not just in 19 to 20, but all throughout my lifetime because I've had plenty of relationships. And the one thing I regret doing is hanging on to people too long. And it all comes from a fear-based mentality. Again, why you need more courage to just say fuck it and leave and go pursue something else. Because then you're scared of leaving this person that is holding you back from what you can truly become. And time is of the essence when you were young. So this is something that I've really internalized in my own head this year, is to leave people quicker. Because there's plenty of people out there. There's plenty of people out there. And I've really found peace within myself, so I don't quite need people around me, to be honest. So I'm okay with leaving them. I don't have a fear-based mentality anymore. I don't need her in my life because I know there's another. The worst thing you can have is a girl who is dragging you down, or anybody that is dragging you down. So leave people quicker. All right, number 5, waking up at the same time every morning is everything. Your morning routine, your consistent schedule as a person is everything, bro. And I recently learned this in the past month or two when I consistently started waking up at the same exact time, 4 a.m. every single morning, Monday through Sunday. At the beginning of the year, I was just waking up early, Monday through Friday. Then I was sleeping in on Saturday and Sunday and maybe a couple of the other days, to be honest. And because of this, I can never truly maximize my productivity, because you will maximize your productivity when you have a system each day that you go through that makes you productive. Because now when I wake up at the same time, I know what the first hour of my day looks like, and I have it down to a science. And every day I look at the clock and it's literally getting like 1 minute faster. When I first started this routine, it would take me about an hour to do my morning routine. Now I'm down to doing it in about like 41 minutes. So it's really cool. But think of consistency like a ball rolling down a mountain or something like that. And if you break your consistency on the weekend, if you destroy your consistency that you got, rolling Monday through Friday on Saturday and Sunday, well, you have to get the ball rolling again Monday through Friday. And you're never going to get that ball rolling super, super fast. I'm not saying you have to do this your whole life, all year. This is just something you should do for 3 to 6 months to get something done. This is what I have been doing on my prep. I've been prepping for a show while making content, while building a business, while still learning and working a job and all of that. And the only reason I truly think that I'm able to do that is because I got my ball rolling so fast. I haven't destroyed my consistency at all. So with that being said, let's move on to number 6. 1 bad habit outweighs 10 good habits. If you feel like you were swimming upstream in life, like you're trying to do these good habits, but you just cannot seem to break out of where you are, it's probably because you have this one bad habit that is destroying all of the good work you were doing. It's kind of like that crab in the bucket mentality. Imagine there's like an octopus in there and it has 10 tentacles, crawling out of there, but then there's just that one crab yanking it down and holding it right here and not allowing it to get up. It could be that one thing that is going to hold you back. So you need to analyze your life. And for me, for a long time, this was not having the ability to just focus on myself because I was distracted by women. Okay, I was very distracted, always on dating apps, always texting. And because of that, I would always break my focus off when I'm like working on something. And it's important to have focus when you're working on something, because the second you unfocus from that and like check your phone, your deep focus is instantly gone. Your ability to produce good work is instantly gone. So it could be that one bad habit. It could literally be checking your phone while you're trying to work on something, or really while you're trying to be productive, that is ruining your ability to produce results in your life. I'm not saying to aim for perfection on this one, because I'll be honest, I still have some bad habits, but it's important to remove as many of them as possible and replace them with as many good habits as possible. All right, number 7 is to focus on one task at a time. And again, this kind of goes with what I just said. At the beginning of the year, I was trying to do stuff. I was trying to be productive. I was trying to post online, and I was trying to grow and make some money online, right? But I could never just seem to get anything done. I could never seem to be as productive as some of the people I looked up to, right? And I realized it was because I was always trying to multitask and switch from thing to thing, and I felt like it was making me productive, but what it was doing was just stimulating my dopamine. I wasn't actually being productive. Now I have transitioned into just focusing on one thing at a time. Like about 15 minutes before I started filming this, I put away my phone, I set everything up, and I got into the mind of filming for this video. After this, I'll get into the mind of going to the gym. After going to the gym, I'll come in and get to the mind of editing. My phone won't be anywhere around here. I won't be checking it. I will only go on my phone when I need to go on my phone, when I plan on focusing on my phone. Now, sometimes throughout the day, Yes, I'll be multitasking a little, but the more productive you can be by just focusing on one task at a time, it's truly amazing what you can get done, and you will see that you will produce like 20 times more results if you can just focus. The other day, I woke up and in 2 hours of just straight focus, I built out my whole, basically my whole website, 3 new funnels, a coaching call all of this stuff for, my training program website, and I got it all done in 2 hours, and when I looked at the clock, I was like, holy crap. 2 hours passed, but I got all this done. That's crazy. And then I checked on my phone, and I didn't miss anything. There was no emergencies. Nothing crazy happened in the world, right? So focus on one thing at a time if you want to become more productive. All right, number 8. What stands in the way becomes the way. And I actually learned this one a long time ago, but it didn't quite register to me until recently. You know how sometimes you'll hear something, but then you'll hear it again, and you'll be like, oh, I get that now. Like, now it really resonates with me, right? Well, I saw this on Instagram. It was in somebody's carousel, and they posted, what stands in the way becomes the way, and this time, it really hit me. And it really made me think about my whole life and, what I've been doing with it. And like I said earlier in this video, I've been in the fitness industry, the self-improvement industry, not industries, but like spaces for the past 3 years. And I asked myself, wait, why? Because that was always what was standing in my way. I was never in shape. I never knew how to improve myself. I always had bad habits. I didn't know how to build good habits. All of these things, right? That was what was standing in my way to becoming somebody more like me today, right? Becoming more of the person I want to become. And that became my way. For the past 3 years, I've been going down this path, and it was always because that was what was standing in my way, right? And so you can apply this into your life by looking at, what is your problem? What is your issue? What is the issue that you see in your life? What is standing in your way? If it's that bad habit, that is the way. You have to break that bad habit, and not only will you help yourself out, but you can possibly help other people out. All right, number 9 is health is everything, bro. And the thing is, you truly don't know that you're in good health until you're in good health, because I used to always hear people say this, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably healthy, until I got to where I am now, and I'm just getting started with my health, and I realized, wow, health really is everything, bro. And when I say health, it's just nailing down everything in your life, your diet, your sleep, your water intake, your exercise, your stress management, the thoughts you tell yourself, that is all your health. And once you start nailing that down, you become like 10 times more productive. You become 10 times more content and happy with your life, even if you're not in the place you really want to be, right? And so the thing that I have focused on this year to getting in really good health is, one, being on an information diet. My phone is always on Do Not Disturb. I don't use Snapchat. I do have an account on there. I re-downloaded it. I'm thinking about just deleting it though, but like at the beginning of this year, I deleted it, didn't have it all year. Then I was like, okay, maybe I want to grow an account on there to get some money from it, but like, I'm not anymore. But information diet. You don't have to be looking at Instagram all day, TikTok all day. My phone screen is set to 2 hours, so when I'm on social media for 2 hours, it blocks me out of there. This causes me to not be on there so much. It causes me to have an information diet. And the reason this is healthy for me, because when I see 100 different people living 100 different lives, I'm like, I want to do this, that, and the third. Like, why are they living better than me? Or why are they good at this and I'm not good at that? And it makes me stressed out, right? So being on an information diet is health to me. The second is having a good diet. You can be going to the gym, you can be exercising, all of that, but if you're not having a good diet, then you are not truly healthy, because dieting is like 80% of physical shape, bro. So when I started prepping for the show, it was my first time ever being on a diet, right? And even though getting down to show leanness isn't quite healthy, I'm definitely feeling a lot more healthy and looking a lot more healthy than I did before that, because before I had no diet. I wasn't consistently getting protein in. I was eating a bunch of carbs before I went to bed. I was allowing myself to have all of these sweet, sugary, carbohydrate stuff, right? So by being on a stricter diet and having, some nice food here and there, I have really increased my physical health, which has also led to my mental health being way better. And that's another thing, is having good mental health, because the thoughts you tell yourself is how you are going to experience life. If your self-talk is positive, bro, you're gonna have those good days, even if the worst is happening. If you have positive self-talk, then you will look at the bad things as positively as possible. And that's what mental health is to me. So all of these things intertwine and interconnect, and that's why health is everything. Number 10 is to question your beliefs more. I started doing this recently, and I would sit with myself in my journal or just stare at this wall sometimes. You can see this in my self-improvement daily vlog I upload every day on my YouTube. Sometimes I'll meditate and I'll kind of question these own thoughts I have about life and ask myself, where did these thoughts come from? Were they programmed into me? because I think it's really important to break away from the programming, kind of the system, the matrix that is all ingrained inside of us. And before we really get into this talk, I just want to say I don't think there's like a bunch of like people, puppets in the sky playing with us. I think it's more of just like there's like a suction vacuum in life, and it's because the current of that suction has been going that way so long that there's just like a programming in the air, and you got to see it and break out of that suction. And I'm trying to explain it really well, but I can't. But basically, there's a lot of bad beliefs out there. Like 99% of people have beliefs that are holding them back. They have beliefs that are not empowering to them. And so you need to question a lot of your beliefs. If there's a single belief in your head that is not empowering, then why is it there? Why is it there? Even if that belief might be true, why? Why keep it? Why not change it? And so I think the big thing for me this year is, you know how you'll look at somebody you look up to, like somebody, let's say it's like some entrepreneur on YouTube, like Iman Gaji. You look up to him and he's got these millions of followers, millions of dollars, and he's 23 years old. Maybe he's younger than you, maybe he's older than you, but you look at him and you'll believe that, oh, this man's different. Oh, this man got lucky. Oh, he's this, that, and the third. You're literally fucking feeding yourself beliefs on why you cannot become more like him. No, you cannot become like him, because nobody can become like each other. But you can become more like him in certain ways in your own life. And so I used to have these beliefs. These people are totally different. I had the beliefs that I could never become like these people or never get close to these people. But those beliefs are bullshit is what I've realized. They're just like me. They have just been doing the self-improvement, fitness, life thing longer than me. And this has been such an empowering belief to me because it gives me the belief that I can become more like people that I look up to, if you get what I'm saying. Also, I don't really watch Iman Gaji. I just watch one of his videos. I just want to say that just so y'all don't think I'm an Iman Gaji dick rider. Alright, number 11 is to stay single. This one is super important. Guys, if you're young out there, stay single. And I'm saying this because I need to hear it personally myself. Stay single, bro. There's absolutely no reason to be looking for the one right now. If it's your high school sweetheart and you think you guys are going to stay together forever, yeah, don't dump her. But if you're in that relationship right now that's bland, that isn't going anywhere, that truly isn't inspiring you or helping you, then get out of it ASAP. Because if it's not going wrong now, then it probably will go wrong in the future. And just it's important to stay single and focus on yourself, because you need to become the man for your future wife. And the easiest way and the quickest way to become that man is to have as much time as possible to yourself. And it's important to just focus on you. It's important to cut all of these triggers out too. The reason it's hard to stay single is because you haven't cut the triggers out in your life. The triggers are dating apps. The triggers are being on Snapchat. The triggers are the people you follow on Instagram. The triggers are your friends always going out to the clubs or going out to parties. Those are the triggers that are keeping you in that loop. You need to remove the triggers and stay single and focus on yourself. Because if you stay single for 2 years, you level yourself up. Imagine the access of the higher quality people you are going to have. That's why I plan on staying single, and I think you should too. Alright, number 12 is it's better to be alone. Just like the crab in the bucket thing, if you have those people that are holding you down, you will never get out of whatever you were trying to get out of, wherever you were trying to change. If you have those friends, those people, or those relationships in your life that's dragging you down, that's holding you back. The way I came to this conclusion this year is I have always been looking for like a group of just like 5 friends that are on the same wavelength as me, and they're trying to do the same thing, right? And I haven't really been able to find those people. And so because of that, I have came to podcast. I have came to listening a lot to the people I look up to, and I realized that it's better for me to stay, alone and stay on the weekends and listen to these people than it is to go out just because I'm desperate. So even though I might not have that dream circle yet, I might not have that network yet, well, I still have it. It's just online. I don't have direct access to talk to them, but I can still listen to the things they say or the questions they'll reply to, and I'll be able to pick up kind of my own stuff from them. All right, number 13 is to take full accountability for anything in life. And this has came from dieting recently, and it's taught me that I'm fully accountable for exactly how my body looks. If it looks like crap, it's because it is my fault. A lot of people will blame it on it's a disease. Well, how did you get that disease? Most likely you got it from the way you ate. So take some accountability for your diabetes and realize that maybe you need to put down the soda and put down those chips. And the reason I say this is because I'll see a lot of people when I go shopping. that are just overweight. They're riding on the carts, super overweight. I'd be like, okay, what's in this cart? Are those Doritos? Is those chips? Is that a lot of soda? What, those donuts in there, bro? Dude, are you shitting me? You need to take accountability for exactly how you look. And I realized this because when I would cheat on my diet, I could see the day after that, wow, I didn't look as good, right? And so I just had to be fully accountable. I had to let that thing sting me. I had to realize that it was my own fault that I woke up today looking watery. Well, not watery, but I woke up today not looking the best because I cheated on my diet yesterday. And once you can learn this in one area of your life, you can apply it into every other area of your life. For example, relationships. I know that a lot of them ended because of my own fault. I have taken accountability for them ending. I knew I wasn't the man I needed to become, and that hurt me. But I that's the reason why I'm also staying single, because I know I'm not ready, right? I'm taking full accountability. I'm not just blaming it on the other person. Yeah, the other person had some issues, but what if I didn't have the issues I had? Then what if the other person's issues still came out, if you get what I'm saying? Because maybe sometimes your issues are bringing out the other person's issues. And so I'm not saying to fully blame it on yourself, but take some accountability. Number 14, abundance externally comes from abundance within. This one I have learned in like the past couple weeks, because the past couple weeks I have made the most money in my life. It's been a blessing. I don't know exactly how much, but at least a couple good grand this month, right? That's good for me, right? And so I realized it came from because I've been abundantly blessing myself internally. And I used to always think that I had to focus on abundance externally. And what I mean by that is always working in the external world, right? Always working extra hours, always replying to more DMs, always making more content. But the thing is, you need to focus on, this will go to another one we're going to skip, you need to focus on creating your hour super valuable. Well, how do you create 1 hour of your time super valuable? By having a lot of abundance internally. And this is like a whole spider web type of thing that happens just through having good habits and being on this route and this course and this self-improvement grind for a while. Your 1 hour of your time becomes 10 times more effective and 10 times more abundant because you have been creating abundance within. And because you've been creating it within, well, it's going to translate to your abundance external. And so now I've created so much abundance within. Let's say 1 hour of my time is now equal to 2 hours of most people's times. And because of that, I'm making more money. I'm getting paid more. And you can also think of time as just energy. I have more energy as a person now because I have been giving myself more of my own energy, not only through diet, exercise, but meditation, reading, all of these good thoughts, right, I have in my head. Now an hour of my energy is worth like 2 or 3 hours of regular people's energies, and that's why I'm having more abundance in my external life. So that one's a little complicated to understand, but I hope some of you get that. All right, the last one led into number 15, and that is focusing on making 1 hour of your time as valuable as possible. The more abundance you can pack into an hour of your time by making yourself abundant, the more abundance you are going to gain in every area of your life. And let me try to explain this to you. If you have a lot of knowledge as a person, right? Let's say I have a lot of knowledge of fitness stuff. I know how to get people in shape. If you talk to me for an hour, you will gain about 10 hours of just regular people's advice, right? Because I have really good advice where 10 other people, right, just you might be out in public, have like this shitty advice. So it would take you 10 hours to talk to them to gain the advice you're going to get from me in 1 hour. And so this is really important because then you become the best at kind of what you're doing. And you're able to create a lot of abundance in a short period of time. And if you can create a lot of abundance in a short period of time for a lot of people, well, you can see how you will get abundantly blessed external. All right, number 16, words are spells. This goes with internal talk. So I learned this from a book I read. I can't exactly remember. Maybe it was like a video, but I learned that the words you say to other people and yourself are spells. And this kind of goes along with words creating your reality. All right, number 16, words are spells. I can't remember exactly when I learned this. I think I learned it a little bit more in the beginning of this year in a book or like a video or something. But I remember it saying that words are just spells, and this comes from other people's words and also your internal dialogue to yourself. You got to be really careful of the thoughts you let in your mind, because if certain spells, certain thoughts get into your mind that are not good for you, then they are going to dramatically change the outcome of your life in such a drastic way. And so it's really important to focus on your internal dialogue, but also the people you're around, and also the things you listen to from people. If you're always getting fed fear, if you're always getting fed negative thoughts, if you're always getting fed disempowering things, right? How is that gonna, predict the next year of your life, or influence the outcome of the next year of your life, right? It's going to not make it as good as it could be if you were intaking positive thoughts, positive affirmations, right? So you got to focus on creating better self-talk, and the way I do that is all through having a good morning routine. Like one of Newton's laws, objects in motion stay in motion. And if you can get right out of bed in the morning, get right to splashing some cold water on your face, get right to, journaling or reading some positive affirmations, you are going to be on a roll for the day, and that energy is going to keep you rolling all throughout the day. And that's going to keep your positive thoughts going, because the higher your frequency, which is just your energy, you know how you kind of have this energy? Well, the more energy you have, the higher your frequency is, and the higher frequency you have, the higher thoughts you are going to have, the better quality of thoughts you're going to have. And happiness is simply the quality of your thoughts. And so the reason I want to connect this with thoughts create reality is because when you have good thoughts, bro, your reality is going to become good. I'm not saying you're going to be blessed with a Lamborghini outside because you have these thoughts of a Lamborghini, but you might go about your day-to-day life just a tad bit more grateful and happy for it. All right, number 7% of all communication is verbal. I learned this one a couple months ago, and I also really learned it today, to be honest, because I've been realizing that every single day I'm waking up in better shape. But I'm also realizing that every single day I wake up and more people send me nice DMs. More people respect me in public. More people look at me in public. And yes, it's a nice feeling. But what I'm trying to get at here is the way you should focus on communicating yourself should not only be through the words you say to somebody, but the way you say them, the way you look, the energy you carry with yourself. Because when you are in peak physical shape, then you are also going to have amazing energy as a person. You're going to come off confident, and people see that you're disciplined and committed when you're in shape. Now, you're also probably going to talk, and you're probably going to project your voice if you're, built and you're confident. And these three things is going to really help you communicate what you want to get in life, because everything is people. So don't focus on just what you're trying to say to somebody. Focus on your body. Focus on your mind. Focus on your energy as a person. And this is going to help you get your way in life so much better. The way I realized this is because at the beginning of the year, I started off not as good as I look now. And I can just see from a bird's eye view how much people have treated me different because I have gotten into amazing shape, right? And I have increased my handsomeness with the Handsome PR pre-sale live now down in the description. All right, number 18, if you try to please everybody, then you are going to please nobody. And I learned this one literally in the past week. A lot of these I learned really recently just because I've been on the grind. But if you try to please everybody, you're going to please nobody. And this goes for if you try to sell to everybody, you're going to sell to nobody, right? So I've been learning about sales, right? And I learned that you really have to niche things down. You really have to talk to like a small specific group of people in order to get them to buy, right? Because they'll be reading that and be like, oh, this is me. This is for me, right? Well, this also goes for if you're trying to please everybody, you're going to please nobody, because if you're just a pushover who has no beliefs and you have no depth, nobody's going to like you, to be honest. And the worst thing is you're not going to like yourself because you just have no beliefs. You have nothing you stand on. You have no depth as a person. You're like a piece of blank paper. What's cool about it? Nothing, to be honest. You can write on it, but cool. Somebody can talk to you because they know you're not going to like inflict any of your beliefs on you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just if you're trying to please everybody, bro, quit that and just focus on pleasing yourself and the small group of people in this world that think exactly how you do. All right, number 19, it's to get a tan. Recently this year, I've really worked on getting an insane tan, and it's like the best thing ever. Girls love it. I get more attention. I don't know. I like it. I think it makes me look healthier. Also makes you look older. It ages you a little. So yeah, get a tan. Number 20, your problems are a gift from the universe. This one's a big one. I need some water for this. Now again, I've realized this one over the past couple of years of my life, but I heard this quote again. It's by Wes Watson recently. I've been listening to him a lot. He's amazing. Check him out. Wes Watson _fit on Instagram, bro. Shout out to him, dude. He's a G. He always says that your problems are a gift from the universe. And the reason this is truly empowering is because when you are able to become grateful for even the bad things in your life, the problems in your life, is the moment you are truly going to live. When you can make the best out of this shit in your life, bro. Because when you can learn from these things, and this again goes with what stands in the way becomes the way, when you have these problems in your life, let's say you're out of shape right now. Well, the way is to get into shape, right? Now, only I think it's like a small percentage of Americans actually have abs, right? Like a very small. Now, if you can get abs, think about how many people you can help out, right? The problem you have is that you're fat or that you're out of shape. Well, that is a gift from the universe. It is a gift from God, because somebody who is naturally born with abs won't know as much about getting abs as you do, because you dropped 100 pounds or you gained 70 pounds and then lost 30 of it to build up muscle and then get abs, right? You know so much more. And so what stands in the way becomes the way. You have to conquer that shit, right? And then help other people out, because that is the best thing you can do as a human being, is to inspire others and to help them out. And so those were the 20 things I have learned in my 20 years of existence. I'll be back next year for 21 things that I have learned in 21 years of my existence. Hopefully I can provide you a lot more value, and hopefully I'll get an editor by that time. I appreciate you for watching. Like I said, Handsome PR pre-sale, link down in the description. Right now it's $97. It'll be going to $197 after the pre-sale's over. I don't want to blah, 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 but it's a program that helps people who recently got out of breakups to transform their life. And the reason out of breakups, because you guys actually have the motivation to make a change, so I want to work with you guys, right? There's also a private community in there. That's why I'm saying that. So check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go hit the gym. Deuces.